So, John, just to let you know that we are live on Facebook in the Business and Career Solution Bucks Hub Africa, and we have people who are joining us. So we will still, of course, give others who are joining us a few minutes to join us, and then we shall start our conversation. All right, John, I think we are just, it's about 18:06. I think we can start since we are live, and I believe that those that will miss the first sessions can always reference back to the video and they can have the replay. So John, over to you there. First, we want to say thank you so much for sparing time to be with us this evening. Of course, we have heard more about you from your profiles, but then we've also had people say a lot about you. You write a lot, especially on your social media pages, and we want to say that we really follow through, and we are glad to be experiencing a lot of change in lives. So John, today we would like to start on, and before we go so much into, of course, the details, as you'll be coming in to tell us more about today's topic, John would want to understand who is John and what do the participants need to know about you. Over to you, John. Would like to know who is John. Hello.
Thank you so much, Samuel.
Yes.
It is a pleasure as well to be live in this session. My name is John Mera Kimwe. I am a professional trainer, writer, motivational speaker. I love helping people become better.
Good.
I live for change. And seeing someone overcome a challenge is my greatest pride. So I hope as we go along this session, I look forward to being able to uplift the life out there, because as you know, we are in a serious time. COVID-19 is real among us. So I hope this session will benefit someone out there. And as well, I look forward to benefiting from them because learning is always two-way. Thank you, Samuel.
All right, John. Thank you for that brief introduction. Of course, we look ahead to hear much more from you. But I should say, John, you've been an inspiration to very many people. I started following you, I think, about 5 years back. And I think during that time, you used to use pictures and draw a message down there. I usually my profile, and sometimes you tag us, and I usually get notifications of a photo coming back after 5 years, and I'm like, oh, John has actually moved the journey. So John, you're really a true inspiration, not only in the writing, but also in the work that you do. I've interacted with several people whom you've trained, especially those that you trained in the telecom world. So you really are creating a lot of impact within people, which is really very good. And I should say that keep on going. To those that have not really seen the profile of John, of course, from his profile, John says that he continues to touch the hearts, minds, and souls of million people worldwide. And of course, this is evidenced through his Facebook page and all other platforms, even Instagram. He says by providing creative, inspirational, and thought-provoking content. John Asime also does business process training, skills development, customer service training, people management, communication etiquette, branding, etc. With all this, I trust that John is wholesomely endowed with a lot of skills as he tries to share in his profile. Of course, today, when he's not creating, he does learning and development training at a renowned solar company in Uganda. He speaks at conferences, conducts part-time customer service training, and gives lectures to high school and university students nationwide on topics of self-development, realization, and living your passion. John says the huge realization for him was that of the limited time we have to make difference on this planet. This reality is what led him to do what he does. He says, I'm grateful for every moment, every unrepeatable miracle. While I'm here, I want to reach every single heart on the planet to show them that our core, we are love, we are free, and we are one. John also shares his secret and says the love of helping people gets the best version of themselves. The selfless attitude of service is the most important variable in giving me both internal and external success. He says he is achieved and is currently learning development officer at a renowned solar company. Within a period of 7 years, John Mary has trained and certified close to 5,000 workers in customer service. Wow, John, this is very good. He says that within 4 years, John Mary was voted best support staff, skills developer of the year, best support department of the year, trainer of the quarter at ISON Awards, and outstanding employee of the year at ISON Apex Awards Zanzibar. John is the most inspirational and innovative employee, and he received the certificate for sports excellency at World Telecom Awards. John, this is a very rich profile, and I believe that whoever is watching, wherever they are watching from, they are really, of course, they really want to hear from you, hear from this person who has such a rich profile. John, over to you there. Thank you for the rich profile. And I believe this profile will inspire a soul out there that let's not only be one-centered, but let's be vast, and let's always see how do we achieve the best. Let's be able to stand out and not settle for the less. John, over to you there. Today, our topic is saying that how can we stay motivated about our dreams despite the COVID-19 effects. John, I understand that you and me have also been partly affected for this. And nearly everyone in the world is actually facing a lot of challenges during this time. Of course, as us at Bax Africa, we really felt it necessary to invite a professional like you to speak to people, especially during this time, because we believe professionals like you that have a lot of experience in training, in customer service and motivation speaking, we believe that you have a lot that you can inspire people out there who are having these challenges. So John, maybe before we dig so much in deep into the topic, John, how has COVID-19 affected you at personal level?
Thank you so much for the introduction, Samuel, first of all. And as you earlier said, COVID-19 is a reality. It is affecting me and you and anyone out there, as a matter of fact. Of course, me personally, it has affected me so much. First of all, I love sports a lot. I love playing football, so I cannot be able to play football as I used to do. So all I have to do is kind of jog around and sit. So I'm limited to exercising within my house. So I'm not able to really still do the things I love so much.
I understand, John.
Yes, I'm still not able to actually go meet people out there, kind of help uplift their life on a face-to-face basis.
Yeah.
So I'm limited to only corresponding process. So it's really affected me so much as well. So basically, you feel like you are detached from the people. You feel if you can be close to them, you can make a difference.
I understand, John.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just the same, I think, for me as well, and of course many other people. And I think it's a very challenging time for everyone, and it's a time for us to rethink and see how do we continue with our aspirations. How do we still remain firm? Of course, we understand that it's even uncertain when this will come to an end. So we just have to learn of how to live in the new normal, as well as, of course, continue to pursue the dreams that really have, which forms part of our topic today. I think, John, as even we go to dig deep, I would want to ask if somebody speaks about a dream. Of course, everyone has a dream. From you as a presenter today, our guest speaker, John, where, of course, dreams can either be either you want to do something maybe in the next 5 years. We are speaking about these aspirations that we really have at individual level, things that we really think that we can actually do in the later future. John, do you, I believe you have dreams. So maybe you could just share what are some of the things that you really see that John Mary should be in the next 10 years for now, so that somebody who is actually watching us right now can really understand what are these dreams that they are talking about. Maybe somebody actually has a dream, but they actually don't know that they actually have a dream. John, what would you regard to be a dream for someone?
Thank you so much, Samuel. Of course, a dream can be outrightly defined by that individual who has the dream. But most importantly, the dream is that desirable destination you feel that you need to be, you need to become, that you feel deep down inside you, it is itching you, it is always reminding you, it is always demanding you. And you are really accountable to it. You feel you need to be something bigger. That is the dream. I, for one, I have many dreams, but the ultimate one, I would love to be a successful social influencer who before my time is up, I've touched millions of lives across the globe and I've left a positive mark, because I would love to have people say, John Mary lived a life that is worthwhile, a life that was selfless, a life that was not centered around himself, a life that was centered around helping people become better, that he lived for the world to be a better place. That's what I feel is my dream.
Great, great, great. It's such a wonderful dream. I should say that we all really have dreams. And of course, one of the things that anyone can do is to start and do something about their dream each and every day. And John Mary, when you speak about your dream of impacting lives, I can really, of course, be a witness of this, because I've seen you for the previous years, and I've seen that John Mary, you're actually going out of your normal duties to actually inspire a life out there. You've never sold any article on your Facebook page. You've never said that I'm actually going to charge this, but you keep sharing all this important information. And I think that is the same thing that everyone out there who is aspiring to be someone should do. You can't just start from the top, because if John Mary actually wanted to be a social influencer, for now he would be waiting for that time when he has the resources to maybe do a bigger website, hold up conferences. You start small and you create your impact continuously. You actually see yourself right there. Of course, on a personal ground, I also look towards, of course, inspiring a lot of people, and especially I'm doing a lot of mentorship through a lots of platforms at Achievers Professional Trainers, but also I believe that these two sets are actually the key routes to success. So John Mary, I think we are there. I want to thank all those that have joined us. I can see Kato Asan is right with us here on Zoom. Darius Inkwasiwe, we are really glad to have you here. I can see we also have people that are following us from Facebook. Zay Joffrey, thank you for tuning in. I'm seeing Trina, you that right now we know that many dreams have been shattered. Many people have lost their jobs. Of course, many are also getting salary cuts, and many things are really happening during this time. And I think everyone is questioning, what can I do? How can I survive? How can I continue pursuing? A case in example, currently tutoring people at Achievers, and so these people are aspiring to finish their course, but right now we are at home and we can't deliver the same trainings we've had before. So somebody's out there is wondering, how can I still remain on my dreams despite the situation going around, and despite also the uncertainty that we can't tell when this will actually end. John, what do you think somebody out there could be doing right now to make sure that they still remain firm on their dreams?
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel. Before even I can answer that, 2 days ago, I wrote an article, and it said, the only way you can see light at the end of the tunnel is first accepting to go through the dark. Right now, you and me, our dark is COVID-19. Therefore, we need to first accept to go through it if we are to see the light. And it is important to understand that usually normal life we fall, normal life we fall. There have been many things that have come. No, in normal life we fall, really. So, Samuel, in real life, when you fall, what happens? What do you do when you fall?
Of course, John, you stand again. You don't keep on the ground. You find ways of how to pull yourself and stand again.
Absolutely. So when we fall, we gather ourselves up. We don't lament. Well, we know that has happened. We fall. Then we have to get up. That is a fact.
Brilliant.
So,
brilliant.
So even for companies, it is true for companies as well as for individuals. That is a fact.
Great.
So
Great.
COVID-19 has hit companies and has as well hit individuals.
Yes, yes, yes.
So for companies then, how are they going to be able to gather themselves up in this COVID-19 time?
I understand.
First of all, by laying off workers. It is sad, but they have to do it to be able to survive. By ensuring pay cuts, by reducing overhead costs, the luxuries employees used to have, they have to cut down because they need to actually thrive.
True.
And to some extent, some have chosen to close to be able to re-strategize and bounce back. It is not that this company no longer values that employee. It's not that this company hates that employee, no longer needs the employee. Absolutely not. It's just that they need to trim themselves, be able to reorganize and bounce back. The same is true for us individuals. The same is true for us individuals. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So with this, how will then us as individuals adjust, gather ourselves up? Because now we look at COVID-19 as a fall. We have fallen. So therefore, how do we gather ourselves up?
Yes.
We have to adjust to real life. No luxuries.
True.
If you used to spend, say, 50,000 in a day, you're having fancy food or what, now is not the time because you need to save a lot to make sure you are able to bounce back when COVID is gone.
Very true, John.
You need to design a survival strategy to see how best do you survive. Yes, COVID-19 has come. That is true. Therefore, how do you survive? I have a friend owns a boutique of menswear at Mkwano Mall. But they closed it down. He doesn't have a social media page or what. He was basically having a side hustle. He has a family, but they closed it off. He was having a chat with me and he said, John Mary, my life is going because this was my life. What should I do then? I told him, you need to start with what you have. You can't start with the big things because then now you have to adjust. That is the fact. You have to adjust. I told him, don't use a Facebook page or social media page or Instagram page. It is okay. What you do, go sit home, design a strategy, see how best you feel you can survive. So the following day, he called me and said, this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to be offering a 10% discount to whichever jean or shirt I'll be selling. The 10% discount is going to be catering for delivering to someone's location. So he said, I'm going to be posting my merchandise, my clothes on WhatsApp because I don't have these social media pages, but I'm going to start with what we have because right now I need to survive. I need to have what to eat because I need to get moving. So he started posting. And slowly but surely, he started getting some sales. Yes, the sales are not as high as they were back then, but at least he can make sales and be able to survive, keep the dream alive, such that when lockdown is gone, he still can move on. Surprisingly, last week he called me and he's like, John Mary, you know what? For the past 60 days, I have been selling via my WhatsApp channel. I'm running out of stock. Now I cannot be able to restock.
Yeah.
And it looks so kind of shocking because given the fact you expect people, because in COVID times, they will be now very cautious about the things they are buying. But surprisingly, the discount he put on his things is actually helping really. And he put a tag that you order, I deliver.
Yeah.
So it is really helping him keep up the dream alive.
True.
And then he was telling me, John Mary, you're right. You cannot stop. Even when you're down, you just can't stop.
Yeah, you just have to stand again.
I have a friend as well, a barber who happens to be in one day they are there. They closed off the market. He's a good barber, excellent barber. Closed off the market. He's not able to access his salon. And I was talking to him, I was like, because I usually shave from there. Then he was telling me, man, I can't do anything now. I told him, no, please, yes, you can do something.
Yeah.
How about you post the people you've worked on your WhatsApp and people see how good you are in terms of that business. And then you say, you put your contacts and then they just have to call you and then you reach out to them, you go to their homes and then you be able to actually clean them up like you used to do in your salon.
Very true.
Surprisingly, in his salon, he charges 5,000 per head. So recently, was 4 days ago, he got a customer from Mutunga because he was telling me, Bana, can I get a great barber? How best as long as they can come to my home? I'm like, yes. I called him up. I told him, you know what? Someone wants to come and you work on them. They had the chat and then he came, did his business as usual, and the gentleman paid him 50,000. He managed to earn in 1 week 150,000 because he worked on 3 customers. Yes, it may not be as much as in terms of quantity of customers as back then, but it keeps the dream alive.
That is very true, John. And I see most of these stories that you're really bringing up are really practical stories. And of course, there are many people that are actually going through the same situations. And I should say that one of the things that really come out clear in your conversation is that somebody should not give up on their dream. Because like you've called it, we've fallen down and we need to stand up again. And we need to learn how to again run again, because if you've fallen and maybe you're chasing something, you need to again stand and again run after it. So what I should say that one of the other things that you really bring out very clearly is the use of the social media, the internet. Of course, these are now things that are part of us. They are no longer luxuries. They are no longer for the white man. They are actually part of us. So I think, especially for businesses during such a time, I think it's very critical that they really embrace technology. They embrace what is currently working right now. So I think this is really very well brought up. John, I would ask you, because I know most of the people that are really following us, we have different categories. Of course, we have the entrepreneurs that you've just talked about who are facing the challenges. But then we also have employees who were working for organizations, but it's now about 2 months when they are home. Some of them, of course, have continuously received the salary, the monthly salary, but then some of them have actually gotten letters of termination. And not only the letters of termination, but some of them have gotten pay cuts. Of course, to anyone who has gotten a pay cut, that is somehow better than someone who has gotten a termination. But then one of the other things that I've also noted, John, that there's a lot of anxiety within people, because yes, I may not have received the termination letter right now, but John, I could be in a worry that anytime the termination letter is hitting my email, because I'm no longer relevant to the organization as I used to be. So you would also be in the organization shoes. One of the things you've talked about of how businesses are really surviving is the fact that businesses now are actually laying off staff. So if I'm a person who is running an organization and I'm laying off staff, now I'm in the shoes of the staff. These staff, how are they feeling? And these staff that have not been laid off, but are in worry that anytime they can be laid off. These are all people that really have dreams. Some of them have families, expenses are really escalating. So lots of things are really happening in people's lives. And I would want you to give a focus on how can somebody who is employed and either have gotten a pay cut, either they have gotten a termination, or either they are worried that they actually might lose their job. What do you think somebody in such a position can actually do?
Thank you so much, Samuel. First, the employee who has got a termination, I really understand. It's quite unfortunate. I really understand how that must feel. I may not be in your shoes, but I really understand how that must feel. Very important. But still, I want to think like this. For every closed door, there is another that opens. Someone should not be lamenting so much on a door that has closed, because then they are going to lose track. They are going to actually bypass another door that has opened. It is very challenging when you have been terminated. That is a fact. But you need to gather yourselves up and know that, yes, now I have fallen. How do I get up? I have to rise up. Like any other job, on all the jobs we have been on, all the jobs we are on, some of the jobs people have lost, normally understand that you are always a visitor on that job. You're not a permanent resident. So you need to still think about yourself each time as you go to work. You need to think about yourself as well, because time is going to come when you have to go. That is a fact. For those now that have really got termination, you need to go back, sit back, organize yourself. Again, ask your question. What is the dream? What is my dream? Because the only way you can get up is through that dream. Because that dream will make you rise up when you're not seeking payment, when you're not seeking favors from anyone, when you just want to get up and get better.
Yeah, true.
To that person who has got a pay cut, be thankful that you still have a job. You've got a pay cut because they love you so much. They are seeing how best they can stay with you till they stabilize and you go back to normal. It's not that they are missing you. It's that they love you so much, but they don't want to let you go because you have a lot of value. So they choose to have a discussion with you to have a pay cut.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
That person who has a pay cut, that person who is being paid full amount when you're at home, what should you do now? We need to focus so much on savings. Even with the little you have. I can give you an example. For me, right now, because of these times, I'm working from home. I used to spend 12,000 every day on transport and other things. That is something like 360,000 a month. And in 2 months, we have been in a lockdown. That would have been something like 720,000.
Interesting.
But guess what? Because of COVID, every day, I've got my expenditure to 4,000. I'm working from home.
Wow, that is it.
I don't have to eat a lot because I'm exercising less and therefore don't have to eat a lot.
True.
So the 4,000 When you look at the 4,000 and multiply times 30 days, that comes to 120,000.
Yeah, from the 700,000.
120,000, and in a month that is 120,000 in a month, and in 2 months that is 240. Meaning outrightly, I have saved for the last 60 days 480,000.
True.
If you choose to look at COVID from that angle, COVID is not all bad. If you choose to embrace savings. But of course, from the normal life, social life angle, COVID is really hard, so much, even on the economy, on the businesses, it is really hard. And of course, still, one has to stretch their mind, to stretch their mind and look for alternatives, whichever expense they were incurring earlier.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
If you used to say go somewhere, you're going to say your job office is near, and you used to take a border, you used to drive there, or whatever it is. Now you can walk there. You can use a bicycle, because it is not that it is a desirable.
Yeah, true.
It's just that you're trying to manage yourself, you're trying to trim yourself such that you can be ready to bounce back when we go back to normal. You can as well track your expenses. There are many. There are many. You can even track your expenses. You can get a notebook, try to track your expenses. You can even get, if you have a smartphone, you can get a spending tracker. There are many spending trackers on Play Store. You can download it on your phone. You try to bifurcate the expense, your income, the things you've spent on. You keep entering. Then it can calculate for you in terms of your income vis-a-vis your expenditure, how you're doing.
Yeah, very true, John.
So it is very important that someone comes up with a budget and makes it a goal to make sure they follow that budget.
Yeah.
As I earlier told you, that I cut my budget to 4,000 every day. But in there, and some 2 days back, I managed to spend 8,000 in one day. So what did I do? I said, I need to compensate for the next day to make sure I spend less than 4,000. Because the other day I spent too much. That is kind of the discipline you have to follow. Not that it is, you don't love yourself. You don't want happiness for yourself. You are trying to manage yourself. Not really. You are trying to trim yourself to be sure that when we go back to normal, you are ready to bounce back.
Yeah, true.
Because there are many who are trying to be disciplined in this moment to make sure when we go back to normal, it will seem like though they were never affected. So the only way we can bounce back is to make sure that we have discipline during this hard time. But that person who has been laid off, you need to go back home, sit, listen to yourself, ask yourself what is the dream. And therefore, if you find what the dream is, what should I do about the dream? How best can I push my dream in these hard times?
Yeah.
If you are a teacher who has been laid off because now schools have closed, it is okay. You can move your learning and teaching lessons to social media. Let people really value you and know you for what you're good at. And then, who knows? Some people out there, they can choose to say, you know what? Let's go on with online learning, and then let's invite this gentleman to take over, because he has really tried to show them selflessly that you're good at this.
Yeah, that is very true.
I can give another example. There is a lady that sells baby clothes in my area here. So they closed off the shops because those are non-essential. They closed off the shops, non-essential. So what next? So the next day I was shocked. She had come beside the road selling jackfruit. Then I asked, have you left the other business? She was like John Mary. She said it in Uganda, John Mary, Teri kuzikiza. It's like, I can't stop. I can push right now with what the government calls essential, such that when my business is rendered essential, I can have a lot of money to still open up again.
Yeah, very true, very true, very true.
That is being flexible, because it is not that they love so much to sell jackfruit. Absolutely not. It's just a trying to think outside the box and say, you know what? I need to keep going such that when we go back to normal, I can still bounce back.
Yeah,
that should be the mindset.
Brilliant ideas, John Mary, and we want to say thank you that you really are inspiring us to go over the dreams. One, of course, if I'm really picking it right, I think we still resonate around being able to stand up again where we've fallen, and trying to still pursue the dreams that we do hold. And I think for those that have really lost jobs, like you've said, let them be flexible and let them be able to see what next, what can I do during this time. I was watching TV recently, and I saw a gentleman who was a laboratory technician. He's now selling pancakes. And he says that, yes, the villagers humiliate him, but he says that he will not give up on the dream because he has to feed the family. So such a gentleman is somebody who has fallen and who has raised up. So if you're still on the ground, then it's good for you to rise up again and get running, because we have to run after the dreams no matter what. I want also to share, today I was watching TV, and there's this common musician called Bibuza, Hajati Bibuza. They were trying to broadcast her, somebody had phoned her selling tomatoes, selling bogoya on the roadside, and was wondering, is it the musician that we used to watch on TV? And the lady said, yes, what can I do? Every money that I had on me is gone, and I have to see how to survive. So I have to get here and make a living, and I'm actually making a living. So I think when it comes to going after your dreams, you have to set your ears off people that will discourage you. Of course, not everyone will support your dream. It's actually inside you. It's you who knows how powerful your dream is. If maybe you want to build a house in the next 5 years, it's you who knows what you're going to do, and it's you who knows what exactly you're going to do to achieve it. So don't listen to people. Don't be afraid of who will see me. If you have people that you fear that will see you, then I think you need to up your game, because every dreamer and every person who will achieve their dream, they get up and don't mind about what other people say, and they will actually follow their dream. So in case you lost a job, see how can I fine tune? If I have some small saving, can I actually get and use this as capital to start something small? It might be very small. The internet has many opportunities right now. You just get a few things and market them, and somebody outside there would actually be willing to buy. So I want to say that we shouldn't really give up. And I want to say thank you to John, because you really bring out most of these points. We want to say thank you to all those that have joined us through Facebook. I see several people who are liking and who are watching. I also see many other people who have joined us here on Zoom. Patience at Kunda, thank you for keeping around. Desire Kamanzi, we are so glad that you're with us. Darius Nkwasiwe. We also have Jean Nagasha joining us. So let's keep the conversation, and let's see how can we still remain firm on our dreams, because every dream matters, and of course everyone can achieve their dreams. So I want to say that John, your points are really very valid, and I believe someone outside there is really getting inspired to really follow their dreams. Of course, as we as you make adjustments, John, I know you talked about of how you have a 4,000 daily budget, and of course this could be you, John, but I understand that some of the people who are watching this could be maybe going through even harder situations, that maybe they have families, and of course it also takes a lot for the family members really to adjust, want to bring up, because if a child at home has been used to be watching TV, and you're telling them that for now we don't need to watch the TV because we need to save, then that is usually a challenge. So what would you advise somebody who is really in such a circumstance where they in a challenge where they have responsibilities, and the people that they are really responsible for, this could even be relatives that keep giving calls. If you're in Kampala, John, can you send me some money? John, you're not being helpful. What do you think somebody in such a situation could really do? Because they are really facing challenges, a lot of anxiety. What do you think somebody in such a circumstance can do?
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel. One, the most important thing is COVID-19 is a reality. Whether you're in the village, whether you're in town, it is a reality. What does that mean? It means everyone out there needs to understand this is not usual times like ever before. What does it mean? So if you ask Samuel, say, I need some assistance, and then Samuel says, you know what, I'm going to be sending you, say, 20,000. Buy food, so you can buy, for sure you can buy beans, so that it can take you for like 3 weeks. That you need to understand that I'm not going to be giving you more 20,000 the next 2 days. It's not going to be coming because it is getting harder. You need to sit down with all, whether in a call, whether in your family, whether your friends. Definitely, of course, someone out there, your budget may not be like mine. You could be having a family and the many people you're looking out for. You just have to sit, even with that budget you initially had, and you try to cut it in half. Whatever you deem fit, you sit with them, get real, whether the kid is young or not. They need to understand what is going on in life, because what you model them into is what they will become. They need to understand when things are hard, how do I adjust? When things are normal, how do I bounce back? It's like that, because not giving up on life and in the dreams has to do with a realization that now things are not good. I need to adjust, but keep going. Because if they don't do that, it's going to be a biggest problem. Because now, if you used to just buy food every day, then you might have to choose and say, okay, in a month, in a week, how much can we use, and therefore how much can we store? Because now we need to conserve our cash, because it is real and we need to bounce back when the time is right. So most importantly, people need to get real. They need to get real. It's no longer business as usual. We need to get real. It's not that you don't love yourself, you don't love your brothers, don't love your family members. It's just being considerate to the fact that you love them so much to help them understand now is not a great time, and therefore this is how far I can push you. Meet yourself halfway as well by understanding what is happening. See how best that can push you by buying the essentials, such that we can move on. At the end of the day, when we go back to normal, I can assist better.
Very true, John. And those are really very valid points. I think one of the things that I've learned about managing the crisis, John, during this time is communication. And I think we've seen that being demonstrated by the president. He's always on TV to communicate. So imagine he's just like a head of family that you have to communicate if things are not really going well. If you received a letter that says you will not have a job in the next 1 month, then you need to sit down with the people that you support and let them know the situation. Don't die in a lot of stress thinking of how will I do this. Communicate, because I believe everyone knows whatever is really going on and they can really support. John, we have a question that is coming through. We have a question from Jean Nagasha. Jean Agasha is asking, how can I start a business without a source of income? I think she was part of Zoom here, but she has just gotten off. I believe she'll be able to watch this live in the Facebook group. John, for somebody who, because I know mostly people who have lost jobs right now, as of course they try to search for the next opportunity. Many of them are thinking about doing business because we don't know when the situation will really get better. So you don't know when your job will actually resurface or an opportunity will really come up. What do you think about somebody who really doesn't have money? Because John, honestly, in this situation, if you receive a letter today and your expenses have been high, for now, we don't have, actually we've eaten the savings. So as we've eaten the savings, you find a letter in your email saying, John, you don't have a job starting from next month and you want to start a business. John, what do you think somebody in such a circumstance would actually do?
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, as I said earlier, you don't have money, you want to start a business. Okay. Most importantly, of course, along the road, you have to answer the question, what is the dream? And therefore, what is the business? And therefore, with no money, what should I do? Because there are many questions that have to be answered in a sequence. It's very important. True. It is very, very, very important. Let me give you an example. We have a guy, lost a job, was a construction worker, lost a job, didn't have money completely. So we have a lady in our village that sells food items, goes to the market, purchases them, in Nakawa, brings them and sells them. So what that gentleman requested was one thing, that he reached a dialogue with this lady and said, yeah, I don't have money. That is the fact. Right now, I request for your support. What are you going to do for me? Just help me as you go to the market. Bring me, buy for me as well potatoes, say of 10,000. Because since you're not selling potatoes, you're selling other things, and in this village, this is lacking. Let me start with this. As I sell this, then I can give back your money and get that some little capital. I can go back the following day in Nakawa and buy others and continue my life.
Yeah, true.
So they reached that dialogue and it worked. I can tell you right now, you can be shocked. The same guy who didn't have anything, who didn't have a job, within 2 weeks, he's selling sacks of potatoes. Just 2 weeks. Because in an area where there were no potatoes, he saw an opportunity, liaised with that someone who has that little capital, 10,000, remember, for the first time, and was just borrowed from someone because she went and purchased for them. And then they started with that. It is okay. So for that person who doesn't have money, it is okay. It is understandable. It is very important to always have a social network, because they say your social network is your net worth. What does that mean? You may not have money. You may not have money, yes, but someone close to you can, and therefore can help you kickstart. But ensure that your integrity is high, you're honest, such that when he picks you up or she picks you up, you're ready to actually make sure you live up to your promise or end of the bargain. Because the greatest killer is untrustworthiness.
Very true.
So yes, you may not have the money, but what you can do, yes, you have friends. Yes, you can link up with someone who can actually help you push. You don't have to start with too much because there are hard times. Don't ask for too much, that I want a capital of 100,000, 250 or what. It may not happen because you are struggling so much. But even the little can give you a start. It's very important. Remember, you and me who is listening to this, you should understand one thing, that whatever it is, you must do the best you can not to get back where you're coming from. You and me, even you who is listening to me, we have come a long way. Some of us, our fights you look back and be like, how did I survive that? So you cannot let COVID take you back. You just can't let COVID take you back where you're coming from. It's like saying, go back to your mother's womb and redevelop. It is an impossibility. So with that same impossibility should be the case of you not letting go of your dreams and aspirations just because you don't have money, just because you've been laid off, just because those are shutting down. As they shut down, find an opening and escape. Yes, you can. You just can't shut down, because as you shut down out there are friends who are resilient, who are fighting to make sure they get through this. So that at the end of the day, when it normalizes, they bounce back. You should be among those. Now is not the time to give up. It is important. It is also important to understand that how you think is how you become. If you think it is not possible, it will not be possible. People should get time and read. Those who have not read the book of the book called The Secret by Rhoda Bynes. It clearly lists in that book. Bob Proctor clearly says that if you think you can be great, you're already great. Yes, you can, because as you think, you attract. So if you think you can't, you will not. If you think you will, even 2,000 shillings will set you off. Let's stop thinking in terms of big capital, in terms of big amounts of money, because even the little can help us kickstart our journey.
Very, very, very true, John. And I think, Nagasha, if you're watching from wherever you're watching, I believe John is answering some of the issues that were in your question. I think, John, one of the things that I pick from your message is, from the story you've really given us, is embracing partnerships right now, and being looking at information and seeing how do I utilize information. Because one of the things that, John, I may be here and I know of somebody who actually sells something. Let's say, for example, somebody is selling. My video has a challenge, but I'll continue with the audio. I was trying to say that there's you can be aware of somebody who has something that somebody's need of. You may not basically have to have the stock. For example, if, for example, you know that somebody has a garden in somewhere filled with matoke, but they don't have any market. We have lots of friends on Facebook. We have lots of friends on WhatsApp and other social media platforms. Just get a photo of the matoke, post it and say, there is matoke at this good price. And you be a middleman, because it is a time for ideas now. You be a middleman. Maybe the other person is selling each batch of matoke at let's say 10,000. So you could sell this at 12,000. So for you, bring the customers and enjoy the margin. So I think people really need to be innovative, especially during this time, and see how I utilize the little that I have. John, one thing I really believe in life, especially when it comes to starting business, is that it doesn't matter how much capital you really need, or it doesn't matter what are some of your limitations. As long as you have the ambition, you have the idea, I believe many people outside there are willing to really help you and are willing really to support you. Like you said, network is very, very key. The people that you relate with, the people that you talk with, the people that are in your network, you need to review it and see, are these people that add value to me, or there are people that don't add value to me? So John, I think it's very valuable to really have you in my network. And I think it's one of the reasons why you've really accepted to come and talk to us today. I really appreciate for the comments already coming through. Already people are really appreciating. Hanifa Mpata says, thank you so much for organizing this. Karen Washington says, it's a great speech. And of course, Darius also here is saying that, thank you, Samuel, for organizing this. Of course, I would say thank you. The thank you, it's for John Mary, because John Mary has really given us some time to come around. John Mayer is a very busy person, and for him to give us 2 hours to talk to us, I think that is something that is really paramount. John Mary, thank you so much. We want to continue.
Thank you, Samuel.
We want to continue through. For whoever has a question, please use the chat box of our
Samuel.
Zoom app. Yes, John.
I know because of this time, usually the biggest challenge comes when someone was running at a particular speed, progressing at a very high speed. True. They're finding it so hard right now to readjust, go back to a slow speed. But I have some message for such a person, in that it is true that these times when challenges come, like COVID has come, it renders us almost more or less stagnant or slow in progress. But forget not that you should not be ashamed of slow progress. Why? Because even with baby steps, you can still move forward.
Very true.
If your dream is to be a successful fashionista, it is okay. Now is the time to accelerate your activity online. If your dream is to be a successful social influencer, now is the time to consistently share love and inspiration to your audience. You should not be looking out for what is in it for me for now. Do the best you can to make sure the world gets to know what you're good at, such that when the world is stable, they can bless you back. If your dream is to be a great teacher, as I said earlier, extend your lessons to social media, because then the world is going to know that you're there. If your dream is to be a successful businessman or lady, it is okay. It is time to use within what you have, because as Samuel earlier said, that yes, you can be a negotiator, you can be the middleman, you can do anything. Think outside the box. Let people around you help you bounce back. Don't use people around you. If you're using people around you to hide and die, the network you have is not helping. You need to use people around you to bounce back. Don't be ashamed of them saying, this guy was of a high class, how comes now he's down? It is okay. Let them call you names now. When we are back to normal, they will have created a story that he was once down, but look now, he has bounced back. It is okay. Right now, let this be a story of you getting things in order, your affairs in order. Don't mind about whatever the world will say, whatever society will say. Just get your things in order, such that at the end of the day, when you go back to normal, you're ready to bounce back, because that's what matters.
Yeah, very, very true, John. And I think that is really very inspirational. John, I should say honestly that as a person who is hosting you today, I'm really inspired. And I believe that whoever is following us, I see about 15 people on Facebook indicating that they are watching live, which is really very good. To those people that will watch this after, maybe even after we've ended the call, please feel free to leave a like, feel free to leave a comment. John is part of that group and can always answer some of your questions. We are really inspired by the message that you're really passing on. And I think people out there are really getting some hope to raise again and to follow their dreams. Like you said, for now, people will really laugh on what you're really doing. But after this has ended, after you've raised up, they will actually be the people that will be telling the stories, will be saying, we saw that guy start, we saw that person trail. And yes, they will actually be a witness of your struggles and your success. So make sure that you remain firm on your dream, and don't be shaken by anything. Let not even COVID shake your dream. If you have the dreams, twist, just like the way businesses do. One of the things that I know about businesses, and I think John, you're some of the those experts when it comes to business process trainings. Mostly businesses right now are changing their processes. If they used to do, of course, for example, a case in point, Cafe Java's, if it used to have several customers coming into their restaurants, for now they are changing the process right now. They have procured more bikes to ensure that the customers can actually be supported remotely. So what are you doing about your life? Because John, honestly, I think it's very dangerous for things to change and for you to remain the same. If the world is changing, so you must also change, because you cannot just remain the same. You have to also adjust your belt and see, how do I still fit in? How do I still be much relevant? So I think it's very key for us to see, how do I twist and how do I continue with life? Because it's not really a time for us to give up, because we were born with a purpose, and we are here to stay. We are here to succeed, and we are here to live the dreams that we really had. This future is brighter, and we need to continuously believe that it is actually brighter. So I want to say that, John, those are really valid comments. And I believe that the people are really enjoying, and they are getting inspired. In case you have a question, please feel free to share your question in the chat box. Emmanuel Bugembe, we are glad to have you join us on the Zoom call, and several other people who are joining us in the social media broadcast. John, I would want to ask, I know you've talked about especially employees who have gotten cuts, employees who have lost their jobs. I would want to ask, John, you're one of those employees that are really working from home. Recently, I posted an article about how to survive the COVID as an employee. And of course, one of the things that I was really elaborating, I think so, on how can you continue to be relevant? Because believe me, John, yes, people are losing jobs right now, but it's highly likely that even after this lockdown, people will lose jobs, because one, businesses have high costs, and even as they reopen, business will not boom as it was. For example, if somebody is running a business that imports maybe raw materials from China, and the borders have been closed, such a business is really struggling and may not be able to accommodate as many staff as it used to hold. John, you're one of those top performers in organizations, and I really want to say that I've heard several things about you. And I want to really ask, John, in your experience of over 7 years, where you've trained over 5,000 workers, John, you've also received several certificates as being most inspirational, innovative employee. John, how can somebody who is at home and who is not working, but of course has an organization they belong to, how can they remain relevant to the organization to be a good performer even during this time? How can they not sit back? Because I was trying to lay it out in my article that you don't need to sit back and wait for the lockdown to end. Be innovative. Look out for how ways you can support the organization, because this is like a car that is moving on a slippery road and has mechanical challenges, and you as a person who is a passenger, are you supporting the driver, or you're just waiting for the time when the business will really crash? So on my side, I would really implore people to not only just sit back, but be innovative and look out for ideas of how to still remain relevant. So that even as we reopen, as we are trying to evaluate on who to remain in the organization and whom to send off, somebody stands out and we're like, John Mary can't be let go. So how can somebody really do that, John Mary, in this circumstance?
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel. It is important for whoever is working from home, whoever is home, you can still make an impact. But you need to sit back and understand, analyze yourself and see, how best can I cause change? How best can I bring impact to my organization? You don't have to really do much. I was watching one of my colleagues in the organization was getting in touch with fellow colleagues who were kind of record the video of hope that will bounce back for the field team. That made a lot of sense to me, because the cause is to make sure there is positive energy around the company and the employees, to make sure the spirit is there. That alone shows this employee loves the company and is willing to really help this company and the employees be positive in this hard time. You can get in touch with your managers, your friends, and see how best you can cause a positive impact, even when you're home. Because now, ideally, when you're working from home, everything's more or less online, most of it. See how best you can help. Reach out to your manager, see how best, come up with an idea, such that you are helping not only the company, but also your fellow employees to keep in line. So someone can remember somewhere that someone is helping me really keep going, keep my spirit up. It's very important. Because being relevant to the company depends entirely on what you love doing. Because if you love doing what you do in that company, you can always find a way. The key, first of all, is finding what you love doing. If you find what you love doing in that company, you can use what you love doing in that company when you're not pushed, to make sure you make a positive impression during these hard times. It's very important. Very, 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 very important. You can choose to say, if say they have been paying you when you're at home for all these months. You can choose to record a video appreciating the support of your management for always being there for you, even when it is hard. Because as a matter of fact, if they are paying you full amount for all this time, they're there for you. Actually, they love you so much. So the least you can do is show them love back. If you have been doing a particular job, go an extra mile. Try to do something out of your way. You can reach out to your manager or your supervisor, whatever. Say, how best can I help to make a difference? Even if you feel it cuts across the normal working hours, for as long as it's good for the good for the company to survive, allow yourself to stretch if you are requested. Even when you're not requested, you can suggest in case you feel it's going to make a change. It is very important. Because as a matter of fact, you and me need to understand one thing. No one knew HIV would come. No one knew Ebola would come. No one knew influenza would come. No one knew COVID-19 would come. What does that tell you? It tells you that none knows what is coming next. What are the lessons? We've got to be ready for change and whatever will come in the future. So how are you going to be ready? Accept this has come. See how best, if you're sitting as an employee, see how best you can add value to the company, because we all do different things. I may not give them the angle of training. We all do different things. You could be an accountant in the company. You could be, if you're an accountant in the company, see how best you can help the company save money. You can come up with different saving avenues to conserve cash, such that they now feel that this employee is really with us. If you are in procurement, see how best to see how you can cut down expenditure and things that you really now consider necessary. Try to see how best you can meet the company halfway. In whatever capacity you are in, see how best your role contributes to cash conservation and uplifting people's positive spirits, because those are the key things right now the companies need. They need positivity amongst employees, and they need cash conservation, believe it or not. So all the ideas you're coming up with, how best can I really keep people positively vibed up at my workplace? How can I help to make sure I'm not exaggerating expenditure on behalf of the company to help them save? Because remember, they are meeting me halfway, they are paying me, they love me so much. The least I can do is love them back by meeting them halfway, by trying to contribute to things that can help the company stand during this time. It's very important.
Yeah, very true.
Things will always come to us, Some are going to be very destructive. That is true. But how do we respond to them is up to us. So I ask the question to you who is listening to this. COVID-19 is here. How have you responded? In your capacity in that company, ask your question. How have you responded? Are you the one who is complaining even of the pay you're getting? Are you the one who is complaining of the privileges you're now not getting? Because if you are losing touch with reality. Because they are trying to survive. They love you so much to be with you. But for you, you are thinking in a completely contrary angle. Are you the type who has dragged yourself to misery just because COVID has come? Are you the type who has dragged yourself to negativity? I usually tell people, yes, with this COVID, I limit so much what comes to my head. I limit so much what I see. Because what I see, what I hear, what I allow into my brain can either destroy me with stress and depression or can build me. I need to manage what comes to me and focus so much on what is going out of me for the good of my company and for the good of my friends, for the good of my workers. Are you the type, because of COVID, you have shelved your dreams for later? Because your dreams cannot wait for later. They are there in hard times and in good times. Yeah. You need to be there. Whether in hard times or in good times, the dream still stands. It doesn't change. You should not be the type who lives when your time is up on this planet, when you're on a sick bed or whatever it is, and that dream is looking at you and saying, we came to you to be fulfilled through you, but you never let it out. You never let us out to the world, and now you're dying with us. Are you the type who has chosen to sit back and do nothing and wait till it goes? It's very important. Or you have chosen to fight through these COVID times. I tell you, whoever who's out there, whoever watching this, whoever listening this, it is very important to understand that you cannot stop just because it is hard. Things will never be simple. Sometimes the progress curve in life is undulating. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. So believe it or not, COVID is not the last illustration of hard times. There will be times that will come when they are hard. So does it mean each time the time is hard, you pause your dream? Remember, out there are some people who are not pausing their dreams, whether in pain, whether in good times. I can give an example. There is a lady here, sells simple merchandise, dinners, what, has a 6-month kid. And usually when she comes to work at around 4 p.m. and then leaves at 7, because curfew ends at 7, starts at 7. So she leaves that baby at home with the maid. So like 1 week ago, goes back after her normal work routine, goes back, finds that the baby, unfortunately, the baby got an accident. I don't know how that happened. The baby had got burnt because it had tripped next to a pan of hot water. And now the entire back of the baby was burnt. I can tell you how painful that was for that lady. She took the lady to hospital the following day, and she was there with her husband. At 4 p.m. when that time came, she left the husband there with the baby, came to sell her dinners on the road. I was so touched. I asked, I'm like, with this pain you're going through, how are you holding up? How are you managing to come here? She was like, Jen Mary, I can't stop. If I stop, that baby can't still survive. My husband can't survive. Why? Because then we will not be assured of what to eat tomorrow. It means the baby will not have milk, because then for now I will not have milk in my breast. And therefore, world will stop. Meaning, yes, in the morning I can be there with the baby, but in the evening business has to continue because I can't stop. As I stop, our world will stop.
Yeah,
So
very true.
the same will apply. We should not stop just because you have been laid off. You should not stop just because you have taken a pay cut. For crying out loud, they actually love you so much. You cannot stop, but just because you're finding it hard to survive. There are always those scenarios. It is very important. You cannot stop just because your family is falling apart in this time. If someone was what you call your family and they are falling apart in this time, understand one thing. If they cannot be with you in the hard times, they are not good enough to be with you when you're okay. Because as a matter of fact, life is not a vertical curve of progress and happiness. Sometimes it is just undulating. You're up, the other day, tomorrow you're down, and then you support yourselves to get back up. It is okay. You cannot stop just because your plans are failing and someone cannot run away from you. You cannot stop just because you have been quarantined at home. You cannot stop just because now you have no access to social life. I can go on and on the hard things people are going through out there. But whatever it is to you who is listening to me, don't stop. It is okay. Remember, if you stop, someone out there is resilient. As you stop, someone is going to outdistance you because they are there trying to be resilient. It is very important. Very, very important. Yes,
Thank
Samuel.
you, John. Yeah, thank you, John. I think I'm really being inspired by you, John. And I should say that one of my takeaways for today is don't stop. No matter what is really happening, don't stop. So to whoever is streaming live, please don't stop. Whatever the dream, don't stop. Just continue, just as our guest speaker is trying to tell us today. We have several people who are following us. Thank you for following, and we believe that you'll get value from this webinar that we have. We shall be having several of them that will be coming through. So make sure that you always look out for some of these webinars. Wandera Dickens out there. Thank you. Kakulu Stephen, Emma Bugembe. Thank you, Daniel Herbert, all of you who are watching through Desire, who is still with us. So thank you. Nifa, Mutatina Joseph, please, thank you. And we hope that the message that is being shared will inspire you to not stop on following your dreams. I would want to say, John Mary, that your message is really impacting people. And I want to tell people who are listening through, who are watching this video live, and all those that will really watch it after, that John Mary is one of the inspiring people outside there, especially for Uganda here. And he really does lots of such kind of inspirational talks on conferences. He conducts part-time customer service trainings for organizations. He also gives lectures to high school, university students, and his focus is so much about self-development, realization, and living your passion. I think anyone who is watching and will be interested in the services of John Mary, I've shared most of his contacts on some of the posts that I've really run. But one of the things you can do is you can just search him on Facebook. He uses John Mary, the reality writer, as well as on the Instagram, he uses Jem, the reality writer, as well as on Twitter, he uses John Mary Asime. So I believe you can always follow him. You can also send him an email. He uses John JM, the reality writer at gmail.com. John is very inspirational, and I believe that any organization that hires him will actually not regret. In case you want somebody to really be a consultant for your business processes, then John is the go-to person. So thank you, John, for all those brilliant ideas. And I know that you're one of those specialists when it comes to learning and personal development. And one of your current roles is around learning and development, which is really very good. John, I know most people are at home and they have enough time on them. And I think most of the time that people spend it on social media, people are just scrolling through to see who has posted what. Like you said, you said that you made about what you really hear and what goes to your mind, because that defines you, and you don't want to be defined by what you hear or what you listen to. I think, John, it's very important, especially during this time, because there are several messages all around that are throwing. Everyone is using this time to share their message. So I think it's important for people to really filter out. Now, a question for you, John, is for somebody who is at home and they want to learn. I know, of course, learning is very key, because as you learn, you earn a skill, and as you earn the skill, you attract an earning on that skill. So, John, how can somebody utilize the time they're at home where they are not working to learning? And if so, are there any learning platforms or resources that these people can actually utilize during this time as a learning and development professional, John?
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Samuel. Thank you for bringing that up. It is important. Now you are in a lockdown, you're at home. So adding value to yourself should not stop. It just can't stop. Of course, most people just use social media for gossip, for what. You need to be different. You can even use just simply Google to just, in case you hear a word you don't understand from, say, Samuel, you can go there, check it out. You try to improve your English vocabulary. You try to see how best, you try to identify your field and see how best you can improve. YouTube videos are there. You may not have, some people say, I may not have too much data. It is okay. You can, of course, if you are using, say, data of 500 every day for 1 week, that is 6,500. You can choose to have a band of, say, 2,000 and choose to go to a particular YouTube video that has to do with learning in your field, and then try to improve yourself. That is priceless, because it's going to change everything about you. It's going to add value to you. You may not see it up front, but after some time, when someone is hearing you speak or someone is hearing you interact with people, come up with ideas, they're going to see change. Accept to have small changes. Don't force to have big changes during this time. So it is okay. You can start with the simplest things. You may not have the money to enroll for different online courses, whatever it is. It is okay. Start with the simplest. Say, Google, how do I become a good communicator? What are the best things to look out for to become a good communicator? Why? Because communication is very important in business, in investment, in sales, in whatever you do. And everything you do has to do with branding and marketing. Remember, what comes out of you defines who you are. What does that mean? So as you try to keep improving yourself with the simplest means you have on social media, on Google, whatever it is, just look out for what is in line with what you feel you love doing. Every day, try to give it at least, if you say, some people usually say that is boring, it is okay. You can start small. Understand that sometimes the good things that bore are the good things that cause change to someone's life. So you need to find some time, because right now, if I give people alternatives or enroll in different courses, some people may not have really money, and they are looking at different ways of conserving money. That is fine. Identify your field every day. Dedicate some time to go to YouTube, find out best how you can improve. Be it in communication, be it in marketing, be it in finance, be it in sports, if I tell you a sports person, be it in many things. If you say you're a writer, many things. At least every day add a brick of change to yourself, because right now you're going through a lot. in that this period you are hearing a lot of COVID from all corners. It is only in your best interest that you dedicate some time to something that can have value and add value to you. So if in this whole COVID thing around you, you can dedicate some time that brings in a lot of value to you, that's good enough. You don't have to spend too much, as I said earlier. If you have bundles that can go to YouTube, learn many things. You can do self-learning, because right now you may not really have in the best interest to make payment for courses. Go there, learn many things. Go to Google, learn many things. Use that to improve yourself right now, such that when all goes back to normal, you have not lost anything. Instead, you have gained value. You may not have gained too much finance in terms of businesses. You will have gained a lot of value to use now to attract what you didn't have back then during this lockdown. It is very important.
Very important points, John, over there. And you talked about, of course, in a question that I raised about how people can actually continue to be relevant to their employees. I should really say that that is very important. If somebody cannot do a video, one of the other things that people can do, I've seen it, some people have really done it, is write an email. Just get down and drop an email to, let's say, to the CEO or to your line manager and say thank you. There's a lot that say thank you means to them, and of course they will really understand, because it means you're standing with them. Because imagine some of these employers are actually small business owners that are trying to make ends meet as well. Some of them have huge loans, but remember, they are trying to still make a payment to your account to keep you going. So at least saying thank you to them is very important. And like John, you said it, if somebody can do a video, you can do this and send it on WhatsApp and share it with them. I think it's a sense of really appreciating, and I believe it will really create impact, and the person receiving it, the other end, will actually really appreciate. John, you've really given us lots of skills of how to really learn. And I think, yes, Google, you just use Google, just put in there and they'll give you different resources. There are different websites that have some of these free courses. And there are many people that are actually holding free courses. For example, a course, a session like this, in the normal case, you'll be actually paying for it, because John Mary, with his experience, would actually be charging a lot of money here. But these are being done for humanity, and good that you're attending in here. John Mary, as of course we wind up, we are getting many comments that are coming through. But just in Desire Kamanzi says, very resourceful session. Thank you, John. And I think that is very important, that people are really appreciating and people are listening through. Friends, whoever is watching, in case you want to follow John, you can follow John on Facebook. He really has very inspiring articles. Just search John, the reality writer, and you'll be there. Just use Google and you'll actually see John, and you'll really be inspired. I'm a witness of that, and I should say I've been inspired for all this journey, and John is not stopping, he's continuously. And I think he really promises that one time you'll actually be giving us a book. So John will really be waiting for your book, and we'll really be glad to really read more about such inspirational stories. John, as we wind up, one of the questions I really want you to share with the people is many people really have dreams, John. And of course, here on Earth, we find ourselves so much focused on survival, ensuring that we get something to eat at home and maybe to support the people that we take care of. But John, I believe that there are also what you refer to as life aspirations and life dreams. For example, John, you're working for a renowned solar company as a leadership, learning and development officer. And I understand that away from the job, you're doing a lot of great work outside there, and you're creating a lot of impact. Many people would wish to really do the same like you do, but sometimes they find themselves putting their mind so much on looking for the money, and you find that somebody is actually on a job that they really don't like. For example, you can find somebody is a teacher, but they are teaching because that is what they really can do to get an income. But also on the other side, somebody wants to pursue something. Either somebody could be a writer like you, John, somebody could be a musician, somebody could want to become a social influencer like you in many years. Somebody would want to maybe teach people how to cook. Maybe they are great cooks, but this person is, let's say, an accountant, and they feel like, oh, I have to actually work. Will this cooking even give me money? Should I really pursue it? And at the end of the day, when people really get old, they wonder, what did I actually do? Why did I actually utilize my time? Did I really achieve what I was meant for here? I think there's a lot to do with purpose. And I can see that, John, your life reflects a lot to do with purpose, that you're not only following to go and look for a living, but you're outside there to follow your dream, to say, I'm getting out of my space. I don't know when you write these articles, honestly, but I know you have busy schedules. But if you can secure some time off and get back home and get either your pen or get to the laptop or phone and type a message for us, and you leave us impacted, I think it's really making sense. John, I would want to you to help someone outside there who is watching and they have a dream to follow, but the work they are doing currently does not give them that opportunity. And they really want to, some of them even choose to resign from the job so they can follow their passion. So somebody outside there would want to know, how can I also juggle the two like John? John is a writer, John is here, he's teaching, he's speaking at conferences, he's writing on Facebook, he's doing Instagram. John is speaking to people right now. And for them, they are still looking for the day-to-day income. John, how can somebody still pursue their passion and at the end of the day, be on their sick bed or say their last word to the world and say, I lived a life that I am proud of, so that they can one time tell their grandchildren that, yes, this was me for all these years that I've been on this world. I feel like, yes, I think I'm ready to go because I've impacted enough. I was watching something on Facebook where one of the ladies who I think who had the COVID-19 pandemic disease, I think she was about 8 years, if I'm to remember. This lady, the doctors were trying all they could to save her life. And this lady said that, you don't need to save my life. I've enjoyed a lot from it. If you could utilize this that you want to use on me to save another young person's life, then that would be very important. I believe such a person lost their lives with some satisfaction that, yes, I've been on this world, but I've impacted, I've fulfilled my dream. So John, what can somebody really do to live that dream that they aspire for amidst the income? Because some of these dreams that we run really don't pay a lot, and some of them may not actually pay you any penny, but there's a lot of self-fulfillment that you really get inside you, that you feel like, yes, I believe that people keep wondering. I usually relate with several people and they'll be wondering, but Sam, why do you go this extra mile, hold such sessions, you're running mentorship groups, they are not giving you any money, and instead of you being there focusing on your work, you should be now thinking about accounting and all such, but I'm into inspiration right now. So John, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel. First, whoever told you that why you didn't know what you do, is because they don't understand your dream. They have their own dream. They want to shift their dream to you. Your dream is different. Everyone has a different and unique dream. So they should not really be looking at and worrying so much about what you do, because someone out there is appreciating what you do. And for when we get back to how best can someone juggle these things up, as you ask, let me try to go back through my career. I was as a customer care agent. I would still, when I had just joined customer care back then, I remember back then I was still living at campus, but I would still work back then in Wari Telecom. I would still work in Wari Telecom, but when I'm going to campus. But as I joined the company, in my heart, I wanted to make a difference. So I was like, I need to create something such that someone every day comes to work, looks towards coming to work. Then I started writing inspirational mails to people. Of course, for a start, some didn't understand it, much as some did. But what happens? Even some of my friends would be like, which things are those? Why are you disturbing us? Why are you filling our inbox? But I never stopped. I can tell you, whoever is listening, when you are starting something out there, there'll be a lot of wild noise to shut down that dream in you. Don't listen to the noise. You have to keep going. I kept sending the mails day in, day out, day in, day out. People started loving the mail, from some people saying, what are these? To some people appreciating the mail, to a point whereby if you don't send, they'll be like, Jen Mail, how come today you didn't send? So if you have a dream, you need to start with what you have, the people around you. Yes, let me tell you, in my telecom business, my time in telecom business, I can tell you, I used to wake up at 5 a.m., go to work, leave work at 5 p.m. What does that mean? Most of my productive time is within that place. I sat and said, I need to build my dream within this place. So what does that tell you? So what would I do? So as in, I would keep sending out inspirational mails. In case we have trainings, I would kind of, because I have free feedback from over 400 people I was interacting with, free feedback. They're able to tell you that, John Mary, this is this. And I would really ask my friends, please share feedback. Where can I improve? How can I do this? I would look out for them. Because even if your dream is to be a fashionista, yes, you can start with your workplace where you are, much as you're saying it is taking too much of your time. You have free market for feedback, because remember, they can help you before you go out there. Because right now, I can tell you, even normally, the business world is harsh, in that you wake up and set up a business, you have not got serious feedback, you have not made an assessment, an analysis to see your market, do surveys, to see what works and what doesn't work. You haven't got time for people to tell you that this is wrong, this is right, and you're just bombarding the business world. You're going to be disappointed and fall hard. So use what you have within your workplace. People give feedback. This cut this. Bring this quiet. Do this. You sell juice. I can tell you, back then when I was still Wari Telecom, when I was still at campus, there is a lady that used to bring fruits and juice to sell. She started small, 10 years or 7 years now down the road. She has an events company. She started with what was within her. In that would give her feedback. Don't add this fruit, put this one now with one. This is the juice we want now. Change, add these ingredients. She was getting real-time feedback as she's taking the feedback and improving. Don't run away from your workplace, calling it is narrowing your flying wings for your dream. Actually, if it is narrowing them, fly within. Use that same workplace to push your dream. Let people know you for the work you do and for your dream, such that when time comes and you're flying to the world with a dream, then you're tested, you got feedback, you've been nurtured, you have now matured, and now the world is ready to receive you, because now your product, whatever you do, has been tested. Life is like that. We must start with what we have. You can't start with what you don't have. Within you, what happens, everything around you, if you can use it for the best interest, then you can fly high when the time comes. It is okay. At first, they will say no. At first, they will say, for you, we know you. You are with us always here. We know you. What are you telling us? It is okay. Keep going. The same no's we keep reducing every day, day by day. And you get more yeses. Then you get more pushing. Then you get more support. Then you are going to get more ideas and people encouraging you to go out to the world. This is it. 10 years down the road, 10 years ago, I was never like this. And I'm sure 10 years from now, I will still not be like this. So life is like that. So life is like that. Even someone listening to me out there, whether someone or someone else, today, if you look back 10 years ago, you're never like that. Still 10 years from now, you won't be like that. It is okay. Start somewhere down the road. You're going to be seeing that things are actually moving. Start with what you have. Don't look for market when there is the market closer to you, to your workplace, because you cannot touch a tree branch that is far from you when there is the one closer to you to suspend you to go to the next step on that tree stem. So it is important that you use opportunities that are close to you to be able to capture opportunities that are far from you. Very important.
Very true.
Samuel.
Very true, John. That is really very inspiring. And I believe outside there, whoever really has a dream, they will utilize their current networks to kickstart their dream. John, that is very inspiring. And I should say that everyone needs to start small and see how do I still start something about what I want to be. In case you want to be a writer, find writers like John Mary, study them and see how has their journey been. I should say John Mary, before I started writing inspirational things, I think you're one of the people that I really studied and said, if this guy is really inspiring people. I think one time I was like, but do I have to post all these things about inspiring people? What do people think about me? But then when I see a life of John Mary, a person who is inspiring people outside there, and I'm like, oh, I can actually also do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. So I think it's very valid that we need to get out of our comfort zones and see how do we push our dreams, because we are not getting any younger anymore. Time keeps on going. Today you're in your 20s, the other day in your 30s, the other day in your 40s, and of course the 50s are welcoming you where retirement comes in. I see many people at 50, they want to start something they would have started at, let's say, 20 years. So for anyone who is at 50 already, yes, we can accept the mistake. But for you who is still at 20, 30, 40, you still have abilities to do something. You still have abilities to pursue. You still have time on you. You have over 24 hours in a day. How are you utilizing the whole 24 hours? As other people are doing the fundamental things, they are writing articles, they are selling online, they are doing whatever they really want to be. What are you exactly doing? Are you a person who is outside there trying to sit at the back and waiting for the perfect time? Because the perfect time will actually not come. This is the right time for you to stand up and start what you want. If you want to become, maybe sing, a musician, Google, start and learn the basics, learn how people have really made it. I love reading about biographies, and I should say that John, your story, your 10 years story, and you telling us of how you started by writing the simple emails, I should say that it has really inspired me, because many people outside want to test the market outside. Yes, John.
The most touching bit of my story was someone who rejected, who was saying whatever I was writing was wasting his time 10 years ago. 4 years back, when he was entering his house, he called me and said, John Mary, you know what? I love your work. 10 years ago, he was saying my work is fake. 4 years ago, he called me when he was entering his house that help me. I need to, you can design for me kind of inspiration what I can put in my living room. It's kind of an art kind of storyline. And he was paying me money. The same guy who was criticizing me back then, he was paying for something I've pushed on for having not listened to his negative energy. So yes, when you're starting, someone will say no. There'll be no's. There'll be many people pushing you on the wall. But understand one thing, where there is a good, there is always opposition. You have to keep going. But where there is anything, there is nothing good, they will not oppose you. But for anything good, accept that there will be negativity. But don't listen, keep going. There are the same people who are going to become your fans for as long as you stand for the right cause.
All right. Those are really good points. To those that are joining us, I see Samuel Eyangu joins us here. Samuel, thank you. We are proceeding. We have a few minutes to end our webinar. And in case you have questions, either for her, myself, or John Mary, please use the chat button on the Zoom group chat. But then also you can drop a comment on our Facebook Live broadcast in the Bucks Hub Facebook group. John, you've really shared with us a lot, and I believe all people that are watching this, even if you're watching this later on after this call, I believe you'll say John Mary inspired me. I think continuously it's good for us to remain focused and stick on our dreams, because no one is going to do it for us. It's us. It is ourselves. It is us to pursue their dreams. It discourage us, but it is still us to still remain firm and pursue those dreams. John Mary, I really love the way you've brought up even the story of the person who called you for when they are entering their house, and maybe in the past they hadn't really understood who John Mary and what you were really pursuing too. I think even for people who are looking for to be social media influencers, sometimes you put up a post and you only have 10 people to that are liking the post, and you're like, oh, does it mean that I don't know how to write? Does it mean I've used the wrong picture? How am I going to get the 120 likes that John Mary is actually getting? And you're like, can I stop or can I continue? So I think it's very important to know that in the start, many people understand you. They will not understand what you're up to. They will really question it. Many of them would want to discourage you. They want to give you options. They want to say, you're best at this. Why are you doing that? You're best at this. Continue with this. But listen to your inner self and listen through, because you don't want to end your life and you're living it, you're ending in regret, saying, I wish I knew, I wish I was told, I wish I got, maybe I upped my games on my dreams. So don't people, if they are to advise you, let them advise you, but the decision remains with you. Let them not really discourage you, and follow your dream. Even if you're working continuously, see, how can I pursue my dream? I'm a person who loves teaching, and generally I should say that currently I'm a finance person in an organization just like you, a finance manager at Save the Children. But you'd wonder, I'm doing lots of things away from my normal job. I do teach at Achievers, a training firm that I co-started with a friend of mine, and I'm doing lots of things. I'm doing business, because these are some of the things that I really feel at heart that I can really do. Of course, in addition to the mentorship that I'm really providing outside, there are people usually contact me for some, I would want to grow in my career, what can I do? And all these, somebody can even pay for it as low as 50,000, but you just know that you're developing slowly, because at one point in time, because I believe if I'm to ask John how much he charges for a time, maybe he's called to speak, you'll find that what he's charging right now is not what he used to charge. So there is something to do with brand. You brand within yourself. and that brand continuously grow. Because if I was to hold this webinar at one point in time, I would maybe about 10 years back, I wouldn't have known John Mary. And if I've called John Mary for this webinar, it means that he potential to be called for maybe an organization engagement. So I think we are brands within ourselves, and the people that we relate with are our first market, and they're first evaluators that can help make us much better people. And at the end of the day, we'll be able to live the dreams that we really pursue to really achieve. So those were really very, very, very valid points from you. And I believe whoever is watching this, I believe they are really inspired, and I believe that you do something about what you want to become. It just starts with you getting down a notebook, get your pen, just Google and about what other people have done that you really want to do. If you want to start a business, do find out if there is a person who is doing exactly what you really want to do. Contact them, reach out to them, and ask them politely. I believe many people are, some people are willing to really share information, just like the way you see John Mary has generously shared all this information. I've not paid any penny to John Mary for him to speak here. So there are many people outside there that are really willing to support your dream. And I believe that you can always contact them. There are also those that hold, of course, paid sessions, and I understand that John can also be contacted. I know as part of, he has a busy schedule, and I believe that he has such programs where he meets individual people and he can help you on your dream. In case you feel like you want to give up, in case you feel like you're much discouraged, I believe he's a go-to person. Like I said, John can be reached out on his social media pages. And he also is also on WhatsApp, by the way, to all those that may want to contact John on WhatsApp. I think it's okay for me to share this number, John. It's 0753 to those that are writing, 0753 868 and then 250. Remember that this is for WhatsApp only. You shouldn't call John on this number. Just drop him a WhatsApp and John will be able to respond to you, as well as his email, jmtherealitywriter@gmail.com. So keep following John. He's a very inspirational man. And John, I should say that keep writing, keep inspiring. And of course, we continue to walk the journey with you. Would want to say, yes, John, 10 years ago, he was telling us this, and 10 years ago, John is here. And the same with the person who is listening in through right now. Be there to tell a story after 10 years and say, my life has not been the same. Each year that comes, do something about something that you really want to be, and continuously see how you develop yourself. Don't remain the same. If there is a skill that you really need to learn, you need to cope up with someone who doesn't know how to use the Zoom app, then you're nearly doomed. So make sure that you strive to see that you get better yourself and position yourself, because I believe opportunities find those that are really prepared. Even the organizations that you really want to work for are also going to find you prepared, because if somebody calls you for an interview, they will be wanting to hear from a person who is much informed and who has the right skills. So John, as we wind up, I would love to, of course, there are people that are listening through, and if in case somebody has a question or a comment, I would give you a chance to. Darius, you're with us. I don't know if Darius, you're listening through. Hello. Darius had something to say. Okay, maybe he has an issue of network. John, I would want to say thank you so much for accepting our invite and for being generous with your information. I believe many people have really gotten this information, and more importantly, your continuous inspirations that you really share. John, this really mean a lot to our lives, and we should say that keep pushing on, and may this message reach several other people. And as you proceed, I believe we'll continuously drink from your cup, and of course, we shall be better people at the end of the day. John Mary, over to you there. You would maybe give your closing remarks and share with people what you want them to take home with, especially during this time.
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel. To someone watching me out there, or someone listening, or someone who will listen after a given period, I say, I know, because now we are in a digital age, understand one thing. The journey of 1 million likes starts with 1 like. The journey of a great dream starts with a painful start. A journey of 1 million steps starts with a single step.
Very true.
Just start. Remember, the only way you can see light is if you first accept to walk in the dark. Do not fear to walk in the dark. Okay, let's walk through it cautiously. Let's walk through it with our dreams. Let's not drop them to COVID. HIV was here. Did you drop them? Ebola was here. Did you drop them? Influenza was here. Did you drop them? Negative friends were there. Did you drop them? You have had financial hardships along the road. Did you drop them? Absolutely not. You should not be dropping your dream because now COVID has come. Because tomorrow something else will come. Whatever comes, keep going and you don't drop your dream. Because you are the dream. The world is waiting for you to make things different. The world is waiting for you to look at things differently. The world is waiting for you to learn from you. Out there are people who want to change. Don't give up. You're going to bury their hopes. Because as you get better, you also uplift their lives and hopes. Because in you, they see fulfillment. As you get fulfilled, they get fulfillment. As you get better, their standards also get better. Because they believe in you, as you get better, your standards are raised. So help raise someone out there by not giving up. Help keep up your dream. You are the light for someone else out there who's in the dark. As you walk in the dark, someone thinks you are in light. So walk in the dark as someone thinks you are in light. There you get light and also share the light with someone else behind you. Because in you is something unique. In you is something that has never happened anywhere. Because none can be like you. Before your birth, there was none like you. And after you, there will be none like you. Live your dream. Live who you are. Be real. Don't try to be who you're not. Because then the world will be deprived of someone who is original, someone who was never like someone else. You were created to be original. Don't die a copy. It was a great pleasure being with this session. It was great sharing this platform with Samuel and the listeners and everyone out there. Follow me on my social media pages, as Samuel shared, on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. I'll be there because I love helping people become better. And if you overcome a challenge, that is my greatest pride. Thank you so much, Samuel.
Thank you, John. Your network it was trying to get bad as you end. Tells me your network bandwidth is low. It's you who worked with the telecom, so
Samuel,
you understand
over to you.
this. Yes, thank you very much, John, Mary, and thank you to everyone who has been following. It's been a pleasure hearing from you, John, and it's been a pleasure to hosting some of you who are watching through, those that started with us and those that are still with us. Thank you very much, Desire Kamanzi, Samuel Yangu, and Darius Nkwasibi, and many more. We are really so much glad that you joined in here. And I believe that the message that John Mary has shared will not leave you the same. It will help you to wake up and get on your dream and get running, because we are not stopping anytime. Like John says, do not stop. If whatever the circumstance, we need to continuously pursue those dreams. Those that are watching from our Facebook group, we are so glad to have you in that Facebook group. Just to give you a brief, the Facebook group we started is basically to inspire and mentor several people. If you're to find the materials that really share to this group are really very unique and are very focused on developing people, especially around career and business. So, every day we outside there sharing some of this. So when you have some time, if you feel that your social media is crowded with things that are not really helping you, just go to Facebook, and in the search button, of course, you search for BACS Africa, or search for Business and Career Solutions Hub Africa. You'll be able to see our group, and you'll be able to be inspired by some of the articles that and some of the people that are really creating change in life. If in case you get to those articles, please take time to read through, and you can leave a comment. You can share what are some of your learnings, because as we continue to share, I think it's also an inspiration to the people that are writing these messages, for they know that somebody outside there is being impacted, and somebody outside there is actually following. John Mary, who has been our guest speaker today, is a motivational speaker and a reality writer. But of course, alongside that, he also he works for a renowned solar company that he works as a learning and development officer. On the other side, he also speaks at conferences, and he's outside there to inspire people. And he also has individual programs that you can always sign up with him. You can always reach out to him to the contacts that I already shared. Some of these could even be found on social media. You can just Google John Mary Asimwe, and right there you'll be able to reach out to John, and he'll be able to support you. He'll be able to inspire you. He'll sit you down. You'll go through your challenges, and he'll be able to give you not only the strategies, but John Mary will inspire you to actually get yourself again back on the road. So be focused on your dreams. And of course, we want to say thank you for today. And until we meet again, we want to say that continue. Those that are on Facebook, you can like our page, BACS Africa. BACS Africa is the brain behind the BACS Hub, which mentors young people. It's a total free platform. Yes, somebody speaking, Samuel Young. You have a question?
If you could read the number again, Asimwe's number, please.
All right. Asimwe's number, just read Asimwe's number. Remember, the number I'm reading to you is only for WhatsApp. So Asimwe's number is 0753 0753 868 0753 868 250. Those that are watching this are not, and you're not in Uganda, you add a country code for +256. You add the code of +256, so the number will be +256 753 868 250. We understand that the BACS community is not only for only Ugandans. We have Kenyans who are following through. We also have people from Nigeria that are follow through. We also have people from Cameroon. So it's really a hub of professionals. It's a hub of young entrepreneurs that are looking out there to develop themselves and better themselves. Reach out. Sorry about that. I should say that we will be having several trainings that will be coming through. So in case you're watching this, watch out for the next. We'll be hosting somebody, again, very much informed and very inspiring. So let's continuously see how do we pursue the dreams and how do we remain focused. Thank you, John, and to everyone who has joined in today. I would love to say thank you and see you then.
Thank you, Samuel.